Hey everybody, welcome to an unboxing of Blood Plunder's new starter set from their Raise the Black Kickstarter. It's going to be going on retail soon. I have my family's been kind of hearing me talk about this for quite some time, so they were curious and they'd like to sit in and see what all is in this magical box. So I'm joined by my division commander, Doodle, and then of course Bean. Bean. Hi Bean. So we're gonna get right to it. This is, like I said, this is the two-player starter set. So this is based around the famous battle of Blackbeard versus Maynard. At the end of the video, I'm gonna have you do an explanation of who Maynard was. Okay? Cool. So of course, this wonderful artwork. You can't get past. The box is huge. Obviously, you know we've posted pictures, and eventually it comes off. There we go. All right. So wonderfully packaged. We can see that initially. Here's the game mat. We're going to look at all this in detail in a few minutes too. Don't worry about it like this. I know there's been a lot of questions about the mat. So this is it comes with a game mat. It's like a poster, nice poster mat. One side is ocean, and one side is for land battles. Beautiful artwork. All right, so we'll set that away. Instructions for all of the components. And then we've got two, I can imagine what this is going to be. This is probably going to be the miniatures here. I think Mike already did a video, but we're going to just... So these are all of your gaming components. So here's the new ship cards. So use these ships, these ship cards to track all your damage and everything like that, and what the ship can do and what makes it special and all that. So
Who made that? Who made it?
The artists, I can put the artist name in the comments. Mike sent it to me, but I know Lillian's also did a lot of the art for this, and they're very, very talented individuals. That's one thing I love about the game is how beautiful it looks. Right. So here's the leader cards. Right. Here's Blackbeard and Maynard. Right. So these are the two leaders. I mean, it comes with two activation decks. Right, and these are kind of, I believe they look very similar. I'll have it open up here in a minute, but I think these are similar to the more standard one. Dice here. You want to give them a test roll? Here, you open those up. We'll give them a test roll. Okay, let's see how she does.
We have miniatures.
1, 2, 3. Oh, look at that. 2 10s, 2 9s, and 8, 7. All right, not too bad. Here, give it a test roll.
Wait, if they're all 9, is that going to be bad?
No, you want high numbers.
Oh.
You got 2 10s. 3 10s. All right, so far, Doodle has the best roll. Go ahead. You throw him out there, Division Commander. 4 10s. That's why she's the boss. All right. So here's the punch out. These are all the game components, right? So for marking fatigue, for do.
Can I punch them out?
Later. We're not gonna punch them all out on camera because that would be like that'd be a totally different movie or a film where people just watch people do something satisfying. So what's nice is this already fell out, which I love because sometimes when they do punch cards, they make them so tight in there that you can't get them out and it rips the components. So that's not too tight in there, which is wonderful. And then, of course, we got the terrain sheet. Now, I think I mentioned this what's wonderful about this is, for one, the artwork is fantastic. But what's nice is when you're teaching somebody the game, 2D terrain is fantastic because it's very clear to see. You don't have to bend around all the components or things. So this is like a perfect starter set for people to learn. And then here's the book. And everything sits in this formed plastic right here, which is really nice because then you can kind of put everything back together to a certain degree. And have it nice and organized. Oh, I almost beat you with the box, Bean.
This is heavy.
And this isn't, I don't believe the complete, this is kind of like a mashup, if I remember correctly, of the core rules and the expansion. So there's the separate books, which are the full rules and the full expansion. So we can look at that again a little closer in a minute. But let's go ahead and open. Why don't you open this box up? And you open this box up. I think that's one of the, here's the leader frame, I believe. I believe this is Blackbeard and Maynard. So we'll take, again, a closer look at that.
It's like presents before Christmas. And you sort of have an idea what you're getting.
Yeah. Okay, so we got sailors, crew on these wonderful new plastic frames. Here's the now infamous or famous ships. Now they're doing all the ships in plastic, where they were doing them for, well, not all the ships, but these are in the kit. They come in the plastic so that it's fully spraying with cannon and your swoops and everything. Or excuse me.
What are these things called? I forgot them.
So those are swivel guns. So
We got swivel guns.
yeah, a lot of swivel. These are all the accessories for the ship itself. You can pull it out because we're going to look at it a little closer here in a minute. And more crew, like just tons of stuff. Obviously, tons of goodies. We'll take a closer look at it in a second. But what's neat about this is you can see that. Yes. Yeah, pop those out. But we're already sitting there. Entertain yourself. But you can see like this kind of. We have a component down. You go after that. But anyway, so what's neat about this is that this is what they've been wanting to do for a long time, is have the plastics, because it lowers the cost of the ships a little bit and makes it a little more, accessible. But what's so cool about this is, here, why don't you get this? Why don't you punch these out? You can start punching them out.
Yes, those are a bunch.
Yeah, that's okay though, right? Because wait, here, where's the other? Don't do all these. Just punch these out. Yeah, the big ones. Because it comes with, like, this was neat. It comes with the ruler. But this is the cool thing. So we talked about this a second ago. Is that you got the mat for the ocean and then the land side. You can play both games with this starter set. So you don't have to start with the ships. The ships rules kind of sometimes can be a little intimidating to people. But you start with the land battle. You get the hang of the rules, and then you can just transition to the ships. Plus, it gives you more time to paint the ships if you want to paint them. To be perfectly honest, you don't have to paint any of this. The detail's phenomenal. We'll take, like I said, we'll take a closer look at it in a second. What do you guys think?
Wait, we don't have to paint any of it?
We're going to paint it. I'm going to paint it. But you don't have to. If you wanted to just glue these guys together and play, you're good to go. So you can play this game, 2 players, out of the box. You don't need anything else to play this game. But I shouldn't have said that in front of her, because she's going to assume this is all I need. That's not going to happen.
Mommy?
Yes?
I feel like a paper cup.
Oh, that's terrible. Then maybe, did you get a paper cut? You can't get a paper cut on cardboard. I think that was from earlier. I'm sorry. All right.
No.
All right, here, roll some dice. That'll make you feel better. Always makes me feel better. So now we're going to take a look at the contents of the box and get a little idea of the detail and all that kind of stuff. Getting a closer look at the individual components. I know probably this is probably one of those pieces that was asked about a lot on the group. It is the poster. The artwork is phenomenal. Really, really good quality, like heavy poster. I don't know, my weight's very good, but this is like, I guess the heavy, like if you buy a poster, this is the heavier version of, what you would probably get for a poster, not like, that really thin, like real lightweight material. It's a very heavy material. One thing I've done with my paper mats in the past is to take them down to like your office store or whatever, and you can get them laminated for a pretty reasonable price, and they'll roll, all that kind of stuff. So I recommend that if you're going to play with it to any great degree. Obviously, this is one of those components that I feel like is like an aftermarket like upgrade is typically the mat, but honestly, you could play with this one for a really, really long time, and well, forever. Especially if you laminate it, it will just have that much more durability. So let's take a closer look. I'll kind of flop it out here a little bit. And it's just really, really great quality stuff. But it is a paper mat, right? So it's just we're gonna do what paper does. Instructions, pretty straightforward, which is really nice. A guide because as you'll see in a second, there's a lot of little pieces, that you can really customize. The other kind of gaming components. Here's a close look at the what's it called? The shoals. And then, of course, trees. So it's each side is you got your sea side and your land side. Let's try to get all those in frame real quick if I can. You can see those. And then there's your tree land side. Really just wonderfully done. Very, very heavy quality cardboard. Just normal gaming components. So you got your ruler, comes with it, which is awesome. You know, I mean, you're good to go. Smoke pot. And then all of your like condition markers or what do you want to call it? Like fatigue markers. And so I got it backwards, but you can see there, which is nice. So condition markers, reload markers, all that kind of stuff. So which is cool, including the ship markers. I know a lot of us have like been in the game for a while. You have the dice, but these might actually work somewhat better in some situations than the dice. So that's kind of great to have those. Okay, of course. Speaking of dice, nice quality dice with your little Blood Plunder logo for the 10 spot. I don't see a lot of those, but hey, what are you going to do? And let me pop open one of the activation decks. I think if you've never seen an activation, what's nice about the activation decks from Firelock is they're kind of game ready. So you have your event cards are very clearly marked. And this one actually comes with 5 event cards. I did not expect that. So we actually have 5 event cards. And then each of the normal cards has your value, your initiative pips, and then based on the experience level of the unit, you know, how many actions you get when you activate them with that card. And then you can see kind of subdued artwork too on all the face cards, but it makes it's very game focused, which I really like, especially when you're teaching new players, because it's very clear what the card does, how it activates, what value it has in initiative order, and all that kind of fun stuff. And then, of course, one for the British. So you got your Blackbeard versus Maynard. Nice. All right. So now this is, oh, and then, of course, the movement template for the ship battles, indicating wind direction and everything like that. And then it comes with your little wind direction marker, which, again, the artwork on everything, there's the little details. You can see like the weathering on this template, you know, it just, I love it, just adds so much to the game, in my opinion. So then, of course, the rule book, just awesome. The artwork is fantastic. Photography is great. Everything about the rule book is fantastic. Everything you need to play the game. And I say, I haven't done a one-to-one comparison, but what I understand is that this is kind of focused on the 18th century, and specifically like gives you the core rules of what you have in the box. So if you get the more expanded rules and the more expanded expansions, you can kind of build upon it and all that kind of stuff. And what I love about it too is you get, of course, the history timeline, which I absolutely love. So if you're not as familiar with the period, you can kind of, this is a good starting point, and then you can research further. So then, of course, it does come with the starter card, the unit cards for the ships, which can double as trackers. I would sleeve them personally. I'm just not a fan of writing directly on cards. It's a personal preference thing. I'm feeling it. It'll probably work fine with the dry erase, but I'm just a little bit fiddly that way. So, and you can get the sleeves. I think I forget what they're the exact size, but you can kind of find that pretty easily online. And that's for tracking the ships. And then your 2 commander cards, Maynard versus Blackbeard, which is cool. And I'm not sure, this might be a Kickstarter only thing. I apologize. I'll try to look that up and see and put that in the comments, or excuse me, in the description. Okay, so now this is probably the part most everyone is excited about, and that is the sprues. Now it comes with 4 crew sprues. As you can see here, they're all identical, but there are a ton of options on them to do basically whatever. And these will work with older units, you know, like in the 17th century stuff, and work for quite some time into the 18th century rather. So it's very flexible sprues. It's just really fantastic stuff. And then the ship sprues, the ships kind of come into 4 different sprues. The main ship hull sprue, you can see here. And then a Here's the rest of I'll do the decking. You got the decking sprue. I believe that's the stern. Yeah, and the stern. And then the mast sprue, which is so cool. If you look really close, here, I'll do the other side first. Look really close, you can see the figurehead, the mermaid figurehead, which is just so cool. I had no idea that was gonna be in there. It probably was announced, I just missed it, but. And it's got all the little bits to really make the model pop if you choose to add them, like the lantern and so forth. And then here. Now what's cool is I love this little ship scroll here too. Scroll work, so you can kind of just what's in the box really kind of make your ship look unique. And then each ship also comes with the accessory sprue, which has your cannons, your swivels, and all that kind of fun stuff on it. And then last but not least, the commanders. All right, so there you have it. That's all of the details of the kit. That is the Blood and Plunder Blackbeard vs. Maynard 2-player starter set coming out from Firelock Games. So, you guys, any final thoughts, Dean? What'd you think? Doodle?
Double thumbs up. Yeah, me too.
Okay, 2 thumbs up. Division Commander. All right. I guess 2 thumbs up too. 1 thumb and a hook. I don't know. Okay, so that's it. Until next time, what do? Game well. Game very well.
Bye. Bye.